Hey, welcome to the Nursing Dose with your host, Dr. Farah Laurent. I'm a nurse career coach and business mentor to nurses, and I'm the host of Nurses Making Business Moves, a conference that's happening March 6th and 7th in Tampa, Florida. And guess who's going to be one of the speakers? Tifany
Hello.
is going to be one of the speakers and was so excited to have her on today. We're going to be talking about all things business and marketing. So thank you so much, Tifany, for joining us. If you want to say hello and tell them what you do.
Yes, thank you for having me. My name is Tiffany. I am a certified family nurse practitioner, and I did something crazy and started a private practice in 2020 and actually did pretty well in it. And so then as time went on, other practitioners noticed, they asked me to help them, and then I turned it into a platform called Telehealthpreneur. So since 2022, I've been helping practitioners launch and grow their telemedicine practices.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And tell the people what you're excited most about, being a speaker at the Nurses Making Business Moves conference, because Tifany attended last time. And,
Mhm.
we want you to be there so you can meet both of us in person and learn all the things about business and marketing. So tell them what you're excited about.
Yeah, so last time, what I'm most excited about is learning more about how everyone is getting their business out there. And like everyone seems to have their own lane, which is very important with marketing, as we know.
Mhm.
And what blew my mind at this conference was when it was time to connect with someone, everyone was like, "What's your LinkedIn?" And I am not a LinkedIn girly. Like I have built my entire business on Meta. And so LinkedIn, I was like, huh? And thankfully, some of the attendees were so kind to show me what I need to do, how to connect versus add a friend or whatever the difference is. And so that was like a huge takeaway for me was how different the platforms are, but in
Mhm.
all honesty, how marketing is still the same no matter what, as long as you like own one of those. So I'm excited to learn more about different platforms that I'm not as dominant on.
Okay. Well, that's really good to know because that's something about this conference that I'm so excited about because it's not just nurses who attend the conference. We had speakers from all different backgrounds. We had an entrepreneurship professor. She's the chair of the
Yeah.
entrepreneurship program, Dr. Rebecca White. She's actually going to be one of the judges as well because I've included a pitch competition this year.
Oh, yes, I saw that. That's amazing.
Yes. So
Yeah.
she was there. We had, experts in marketing and different aspects of business because I truly feel that nurses in general need to learn from other industries to grow in their career and to think about themselves as a brand and as a business, whether you have a business or not, right? Of
Hmm.
course, this conference is more focused on those nurses who want to either start a business or grow their business. So can you kind of talk to them about, what was your biggest challenge or barrier when you transitioned from nurse to getting into business? And I know there's probably many.
Mm.
What stands out the most?
Mindset. It's
Mhm.
accepting that you are the beginning of it all and the end of it all when you are the business owner.
Yeah.
Where I think as nurses, a lot of us are conditioned to easily and quickly go look for a supervisor, or if it's not on my task list, I'm not completing it, or if I don't have the supplies that I need, I'm gonna say like I can't do that task. And then
Mhm.
there's another group that go and own that task list and they own all of the responsibilities that they need to take, and they're going to figure out how to make it work no matter what. And those are usually the people who do really, really well in business. And so that was me. I was like, no matter what, I'm going to take care of my patients. I'm going to figure it out. And so
Yeah.
I applied that same thing to my business. But in the beginning, I had to realize that that needed to be applied. Like I thought, it's easy to go into it, see what someone else is doing, try to copy and paste, and you don't really know what's really going on in the background, right? So it's like, that was probably my biggest like aha, or like my biggest struggle in the beginning, was accepting the fact that, one, this is like completely different than being a business owner, is completely different than working for someone else. But then two, we already have the skill set to be able to do it. It's just about stepping into it and like, okay, I can do this for myself. One of my favorite things to tell my mentors, sorry, I went to Cleveland and we live in Florida, and that weather change has not been nice for me.
And I'm in Florida too.
Yes, it has not been nice.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite things to say is that, well, I forgot. I'm still in postpartum, so my memory, I forgot what it was. The one thing was.
Was it about mindset or about taking ownership of the business or something to that effect? I mean,
it's going to come back and then I'll just tell you.
Something you like to tell your mentors, I think you were saying.
Yeah, it was something I like to tell my mentees, but it was about, I forgot. And I already know it's not going to come back right now.
It'll come back.
I've accepted what my hormones have done to me, so I already know it's not coming back right now.
Yeah, I definitely get that. Yeah, so like definitely mindset, I think, is huge because, as we're talking about building a business, from nursing, we know nothing about business basics, marketing, sales, all those things. So we really have to like self-teach ourselves, right? It's a lot of like self-taught, right? But of course, as we've learned, in order to move more quickly, professional development, just like in nursing, investing in your business and investing in your personal development is, I think, probably one of the fastest ways that you can grow as an entrepreneur, right? To like, some things you do have to learn on your own, right?
Yeah.
But, to get to point A to point B, you can get there a lot faster when you have coaches, other consultants that you're working with and things like that. So can you talk a little bit about your business growth from that standpoint?
Absolutely. I would not be here right now if I did not invest into my business development in addition to my personal development. Because who I was in 2020 could not own the business that I have right now in 2025. I had to do a lot of personal development in alignment with my business development. And in order to make $1.3 million in 27 months, I had to invest in order to do that. And so it's no secret how much I invest. Like right now, up until this year, I have invested, I'm about to pay again. So I've invested about $50,000 in business development and coaching. And so sometimes we see people who are doing really big things and they're generating a lot of revenue. And you're just like, why isn't my business doing that? But then you have to think, what are you doing on the background? Like, what is it? What are all the little things that business owner is doing to actually get to that point? And I can almost guarantee you that it is investing in some kind of way.
Yes, to that. That was me in the beginning, right? When I started my nurse career coaching business, I was doing it for free essentially. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to turn this into a business, start coaching these new graduate nurses. And I had to, read a bunch of books, listen to podcasts, research a lot. But then when I started investing in business coaches, marketing coaches, sales coaching, that's when things blew up, right? Like you're saying. And that's why a lot of, nurses come to me too. And they're like, oh, I see your LinkedIn. Like, how are you getting your clients?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, the majority of my clients that come to me are through LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Because I've been so consistent in my marketing.
Yep.
So this is what I want to talk about now, right? There's a lot of confusion when it comes to building a personal brand and also marketing. For me, building a brand has been life-changing. And I've been very intentional about building a personal brand and also marketing. Yeah. So it's, I'll kind of weigh in a little bit, but like, what are your thoughts on the difference between branding and marketing, if you just want to like share?
Yeah. So branding, whether it's personal or a business brand, it is what people will know you as, and it's how people will connect to you as a person or you as a business. And so that can look like they recognize your colors, they recognize your logo, they recognize the type of event that you host, your style, they recognize your haircut, the type of clothes that you wear, all of that goes into branding. So if we see golden arches without any building connected to it, but we see golden arches in the sky, we know that that's McDonald's, right? So that is branding. And marketing is the act of actually getting your business in front of leads. And a lead is someone that you can talk back and forth to about your services that are interested in your services. And so marketing has so many different levels to it that it's a lot of times new owners, new business owners, they're just like, I have everything figured out. I just need to know marketing. Well, marketing boils down to psychology. It boils down to behavioral psychology, seller psychology, how a human acts, how a human reacts to what they're seeing, what they're hearing online, and how they're going to react with you and your content online. All of that goes into marketing, and that's even before it's time to ask for the sale, right? So branding is what people see. Marketing is how they're interacting with your business because they're interested in what you have to offer.
Yeah, so I think that's a great, way to put it. And I don't think one can really exist without the other.
Yeah.
A lot of people think they could build a business and they're like, well, I don't want to really market much. I'm just going to, do the branding thing. And the thing about brand too, it's more long term and it's really the essence of like, yes, it's also like your logo, your brand colors, like image wise, but also like how people feel about your brand. Do they trust you? What values do you stand for? What impact do you want to make? And do they want to ride with you in terms of like, that's my tribe, those are my people. They understand, right? So that's kind of like part of branding as well. But marketing is like ever changing, as you mentioned, right? And I don't think people realize that. And there's multiple aspects. Yes, social media content is one of those aspects to really build your brand and also market what it is that you're trying to put in front of people. And a lot of nurses struggle with this piece.
Yeah.
They don't want to be visible and they don't want to market their stuff. And I'm like, well, how are people going to know about you? Know about your business, know what you offer, because if they don't know you, they can't buy your service or product.
Absolutely. Yeah,
So,
exactly. And I think,
yeah,
I think there is something to say about deciding your lane of how you will market your business. Social media is, of course, the quickest, most affordable. It's free, like to just get on there and do what you want to do. So it seems like the only option, but you can still grow your business without social media, but you still got to be visible. Like all that means is that you still take the same strategies and the same tactics and do it in person. So this looks like what it used to be, 10, 15 years ago, when you had to go to conferences, you had to get some keynote speaking events, you had to be in the room, like a room that you're creating.
Yeah, nurses making business.
I'm so sorry.
In the room, get your ticket.
Yeah, you have to get into a room to actually talk about your business. And no matter if you do decide to do that virtually or in person, you still have to market, because if no one knows you exist, how can they ever opt into what you have to offer?
Yeah, and I think honestly, I'm in a business mastermind as well, and I've invested, like you said, thousands also in coaching. And I think nurses struggle with this a lot because in our profession, as we transition to nurse entrepreneurship or even, just growing, we're taught so much to just be humble and not really be out there. And I'm like, nah, we no,
like forget that.
Like, let's be in people's faces. Let's tell the world what we do, the problems we solve, and really think about it in terms of like when we talk about marketing, the whole goal of marketing is for people to know what you offer, to know about you, so that you can eventually turn the leads that you talked about into actual paying customers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that sales part, a lot of people struggle with because they're like, well, I don't want to sound salesy. I
Yeah.
literally, we just talked about this. But if you're building brand, people trust you and you deep down have the conviction. You're like, you know what I offer people literally will transform their lives, transform their business, and
Mm-hmm.
you believe in your product or service, then
Mm-hmm.
you're actually doing people a favor. It's being of service, right?
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
look at it like, oh, I don't want to be salesy. It's like, well, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, like, you got
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
there marketing. So, what do you tell those people that are, and I'm not, like you said, everyone has their own lane of like whether you want to do paid marketing. Like, I'm not really at that space just yet to do paid
Mm-hmm.
marketing. And I feel like you need to learn a lot because it does take a lot of money to do paid marketing.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different formats. There's like affiliate marketing, paid marketing,
Yeah.
social media content, marketing,
Yeah.
so much stuff. But like, what do you tell the people that are not ready to do maybe paid ads, but that are afraid to get out there and market and be visible? What do you tell those
Yeah.
or entrepreneurs?
So one, the sales part, like if you are afraid of being salesy, I was definitely in that boat. Like I never asked for the sell when I first started.
Mhm.
And it took me going through a few different like coaches and a few different trainings and things to find what felt comfortable to me in order to finally be able to ask for that sale. So I do think that there's a lot of power in finding something that feels comfortable to you when it does come to selling your service. And I agree with what you said that if you know for a fact that what you have to offer can help the person sitting in front of you,
Yeah.
you're really doing them a disservice if you don't present it to them and let them make an informed decision about if they want to do that or not.
Yeah.
And so I think there's what helped me a lot to finally be able to sell is I found something that aligned with me, with my morals, with my values, and it aligned with my brand. So now I've created a brand
Mhm.
that is trustworthy and I am honest and I will tell somebody in a heartbeat if I don't think my program is for them. And so
Yep.
there's ways for you to go about it so that you
Mhm.
do feel like you are truly helping people. And as a byproduct of that, we make money, right? So money in the hands of good people is what's going to save this world. And so if you know that you are a good person, then you deserve to be properly compensated for what you are giving and what you are sharing and the impact that you're making in people's life. And I think we do
Yeah.
a lot of mindset work as well in the collective. And part of it is I tell them in a heartbeat, like, nobody's looking for you on social media. So you might as well just post, right? Like,
Yep.
nobody is going, if they don't even know you exist. So nobody's just typing in, oh, let me go look and see what Tiffany's talking about her practice today. Like, nobody knows. So just post because everyone is in their
Yeah.
own world until you stop their scroll. And so you can only do that if you post, right? So
Yeah.
it's a lot of mindset. And that's what it boils down to is the mindset piece.
Yeah, honestly, and that's what I tell people all the time. Like, you literally have to be in people's face. They have to know you, recognize you. And, in business, we talk about the know, like, and trust factor.
Yeah.
And this is one of the reasons why I decided to do this in-person event, this Nurses Making Business Moves conference, which you should get your tickets March 6th and 7th. Go to nursesmakingbusinessmoves.com and get your ticket, right? Because I want to create a space where nurse entrepreneurs and other entrepreneurs can get together and there's no gatekeeping and talk about the real things that are preventing them from starting their business or growing their business. And
Yeah.
really, it's all about not just knowledge, because there's a lot of knowledge out there. One big piece is clarity. People lack clarity. And then also, there's a lot of fear and mindset, limiting belief stuff. But once you get over that piece, it's just about taking action.
Yes. Yes. The
Because,
implementation part.
yeah, and people have all sorts of excuses. And I'm guilty of it as well. I'm like, oh, I can't,
Yeah.
do this live today because of this and this. But it's like consistency is what will drive your business forward.
Yeah,
Being consistent
absolutely.
and following up. So let's break down quickly. I know it's a lot, but like lead generation, right?
Okay.
Lead generation is a way for people to know about, your service or product, whatever you're selling. How do
Right.
you get people, like, how do you attract people to get to you, right? Most of the time we talk about a lead magnet, and I don't think
Mhm.
people understand you need a consistent way to bring people in,
Mhm.
whether it's doing a webinar, creating
Right.
content, doing Zooms, or whatever. So talk a little bit about the importance of lead generation for consistent clients.
Yes. Okay, so funny story, when I first started my practice and then I started obviously getting targeted by other marketing agencies, then they would ask me, I will never forget this conversation. This man asked me, okay, about how many leads per week are you getting? And I was like, what? I
Yes,
was
data
like,
tracking. Yes, yes.
yeah, I was like, I mean, I see about 5 patients a week. And he's like, no, how many leads are you getting? And I was just like, I don't think I understand your question. And that is when I went down a rabbit hole on what the heck he was talking about. And I found
Yeah.
out, right? Like, there is a funnel. There's something called a funnel, and the funnel looks like this, right? It's super wide at the top, and as you keep going down, it gets smaller and smaller, like where my elbows are, okay? So
Yeah.
the top of the funnel needs to be filled with as many leads as possible. So the top of the funnel is where people are whenever they find out that you exist. They have entered into your ecosystem, whether that be your LinkedIn community, your
Yeah.
Facebook community, your Instagram community, your email list. It can look like whatever, but
Mhm.
they have found that you exist and they have locked in. That can
Like
be a
your
follow.
point of contact, like first.
Yes, like a point of, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, as long as you have that open line of communication where you can message them back and forth, whatever platform that is, then they are a lead. And
Wait,
so,
time out. Hold on. You need typically their name, first,
yes,
last name, email, and preferably if they have a number, that is the way to contact, and that is considered a lead. So you could contact them. Okay, cool. Go ahead.
yes, yes. If you are like, if you want to, you need to take them off of the platform that you're on, then you can do that. But I'm sure that you convert straight off of LinkedIn too,
Through
right?
the DMs.
Through the DMs, right? So that's what I'm saying. So as long as
Right.
they can DM like Facebook, Instagram, then that's good. But if it's someone that doesn't follow you and they just liked it, that's not a lead, right? Because they just liked it, unless you can direct message them,
Yeah,
right?
I guess it's like kind of
Yeah.
like a prospect. Like,
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So the
Like the
importance
interest.
of
Yeah.
filling that top funnel is
Mhm.
so important, because as you start learning about KPIs and the things that you need to measure, you will quickly understand that not everyone at the top of that funnel is going to see the bottom of your funnel. And the bottom of your funnel is where you make money. That's where the sell happens. Okay.
And you don't
So
want everybody.
you don't. So the top needs to be filled with as many people as possible, because now you're going to prune them down all the way to your most perfect ideal customer. And
Mhm.
that is where the bottom of the funnel happens. And so if you're looking to have 5 new clients a month, right? But the top of your funnel only has 5 people in it that month, you're not going to get those 5 people. Okay. I'm sorry to tell you, no matter how good you are, you probably ain't going to get those 5 people.
Yeah, you need to like 5x that. So like,
Exactly.
maybe 25 or 30 people, because if you're
Yeah.
going to talk to, let's say, 25 to 30 people, and out of those 30 people, you're going to maybe get 3 to 5 clients, then that could be those qualified clients
Exactly.
were the right ones for you to work with.
Exactly.
But you need that consistent way to lead them in. So whether that's creating content, giving them, a free PDF, or me, I just started webinars for new graduate nurses, and I'm trying to do them every week. I
Mhm.
just got Go High Level just recently. I'm always switching up something.
Mhm.
And literally they'll give their information, name, email, phone number, and they'll get into my email list, right? You don't necessarily need all these fancy funnels in the beginning if you can't afford it. Literally creating content and saying, hey, if you want to come to my free Zoom session or my free webinar, you do it every week. You get people to come through. You present what it is you do, and then you say, hey, if you're interested in my offer, let's take this onto a one-on-one call or something like that.
Yeah.
And then learn more about them and then just share how you can help them.
Yeah.
And that's boom. That's your sale.
It's like it's
complicated. Yeah.
Exactly. It doesn't. It's all about connection. And in 2025 and beyond, so 2026, people are not buying from businesses. They're buying from people, which is why influencers and affiliates, are booming. That market is booming. And it's because they feel connected. They feel seen. They feel heard. They feel related to. And so if you remember to do that, whether that's getting their name, email, and phone number, and then on your email list, spending time connecting with them and nurturing them, explaining who you are, you understand their problems and things like that, then they're going to convert if they are indeed your ideal customer. I think webinars are amazing. It's the quickest way to warm up people. It's we call it one-to-many selling. And so that's usually less time. I did a weekly webinar. I did a webinar every week for a whole year. And that's the funnel that I was able to generate over $1 million in. So consistency, like you said, is absolutely what every business owner needs. And then I think it's important that a lot of people realize that marketing is testing. Every single thing that you do is a test. And if you go and do something and it doesn't work the first time, and you either give up or you keep it or you either give up or you decide that it's not, or you change too many things at one time, you'll never know what actually is working, right? So it's definitely a process. I'm 5 years into business in general, and I've had 2 launches in 60 days. And the amount of things that we learned from those launches is still amazing to me because I love the data. And so as a business owner, you do have to decide to own all of that. You own your data, you own your results, you own the entire thing. And if you make a decision that no matter what, this is going to work, baby, you go put the work in to figure out how to make it work.
Exactly. And I'm so proud of you from the growth that you've shown and, all the things that you've done. And that's why I was like, it would be an honor to have you come speak at the conference. So if you want to come to the conference, learn more about what Tifany does, hear her speak more about business and marketing, and I'll be speaking about branding. There are different speakers speaking about different topics. And even Ashley and Shanika are going to be at the conference. So thanks for coming through, guys. Get your tickets at nursesmakingbusinessmoves.com. It's going to be in Tampa, Florida, March 6th and 7th. You don't want to miss it. So any last tips for the people who are wanting to start a business or in business for, in general?
Yeah. Just freaking do it, right? Not sponsored by Nike, but just freaking do it. And if you are a practitioner who's interested in starting your own telemedicine practice, or if you already have a practice, but you need help with the growth of it and the marketing of it, then you can find me on Instagram, Telehealthpreneur. I'm Telehealthpreneur on all platforms, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, but I don't go over there that much.
More on LinkedIn.
I know I need to get more on LinkedIn. We've dabbled. I ran ads on it and it did really well because I do paid marketing. So it did really well on LinkedIn. And then you can always email support@telehealthpreneur.com. Me and my team would be happy to help you. Looking forward to seeing you guys in March in Tampa. I enjoyed it last time, so looking forward to it again this year or next year.
Awesome. Yes, I'm so excited to have you speak. And honestly, the biggest thing too with just marketing and branding in general that I want to share with everybody is, like she talked about earlier too, is just be real, be yourself, talk about your wins, talk about your downfalls. I talk about stuff all the time. Hey, I got laid off 3 times in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
That's my drive to really inspire other nurses to start their businesses and grow their businesses, because this marketplace, right, there's no job security. So this is why I'm so excited to share this type of content, to show nurses hey, you can take control of your own career, your own life, your own business, and make money and not feel guilty about it, right?
Yeah.
It's that
Yeah.
abundance. Like, it's okay to want to work less, get paid more, whatever that is, whether you want to do a paid speaking engagement, whether you want to do books, podcasting, whatever it is that you want to build, you can do it. Like Tifany said, just do it, take action. Most people are sitting on their ideas for like 3 to 5 years and don't do nothing. I'm like, what are you
and then
doing?
be mad when somebody else does it and makes a lot of money from it. It's like you still could do it, right?
Right. Yeah. And just being in community with other entrepreneurs, other nurses. That's why, like I said, we built this space, Nurses Making Business Moves. So excited for you and your growth. And that's really it. And share your story. That's my big thing. Because most entrepreneurs are typically helping their younger self like 3 to 5 years.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So, share your story about how you've grown and how you can help others kind of get to where they want to be. So follow Tifany, connect with Tifany. And what is it? Tell them again your website so they can connect with you.
Telehealthpreneur. So my website is www.telehealthpreneur.com. And then on Instagram, it's Telehealthpreneur. So it's the merging between telehealth and entrepreneurship. That's Telehealthpreneur. You can Google Telehealthpreneur. I'll be all on there. So my brand, as you said, my brand is really good, Telehealthpreneur.
Yes. And I'm so excited to connect with everybody and see everybody at the conference, Nurses Making Business Moves. Go to nursesmakingbusinessmoves.com to get your ticket. There's also an opportunity for you to win $5,000 in the pitch competition. Make sure you enter, and all the information is on the website. I'm also looking for sponsors if you want to sponsor the conference and also get a table. I have tables available. Contact me. Until next time, keep making those business moves and those money moves and stay visible. Thank you so much, Tifany. It was a pleasure.
For having me. Bye.
Thanks everyone for coming through and watching. We appreciate